It's your boy, That's No Moon from Doombringer, and you're listening to the Escape Pod cast. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience, and why did the angry Jedi cross the road? To get to the dark side. Oh dear. Nev, Paul, it's going to be a frosty reception out here on Hoth this week. I tell you what, meet me in orbit. Get me out of here.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast,
we stand with the community and hope you will join us.
The Journey Guide guides some of us to try our hands at old content, and it kind of feels like new.
What can I say about the Hyperdrive bundle? Let's start with...
Whoa. Not yet, Neil. Let's save that for Biscuit Weasel.
Bisweeze.
Yes, Bisweeze. We also talk about Hux and Sith Trooper and give our initial impressions.
And the fourth segment will be a funeral to free-to-play. Yes, a funeral.
What?
I'll go into more detail, then you will see.
All right. All this in breaking news as and if it happens, and it has, right here on this live edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Calling General Hugs. I'll hold for Hugs. I'll hold for Hugs.
This is your mama speaking. Yes. Can I have an order of large fries, a cheeseburger, and some flapjacks, please?
Well, the thing is you can absolutely have the fries with a ton of salt, because that is what we're currently getting in the community right now over a possible General Hux rework.
No, really? Yeah, salt from the community? I would never have thought of that. Never have thought you'd get salt from the community.
So, they just posted on their site, Developer Insights, I think. No, it wasn't Developer Insights. It was investigating interactions with Hux. We are aware of some potential gameplay interactions with General Hux that were unintended. We're starting the process of reviewing his kit and this interaction to determine whether any action needs to be taken. We'll be updating you once we know more. If we decide to make a change, it'll likely occur next week. Thank you for your patience while we work to screw you over through this matter.
You know why that is, though, don't you? Three-star General Huxes were decimating Boss Anakin squads.
I mean, it's... So we had Emperor Palpatine that was decimating Malak, and now we have Hux that's decimating, the Boss Anakin.
Boss Anakin, yeah. So, yeah. And why? I wonder why this is happening. Could it be because they're not beta testing it? They're not asking us in the community to, play around with this stuff and say, hey, you might want to check this out. People that forked out, hand over fist for Boss Anakin, they're getting trounced by a marquee free player, so you might want to look into that.
Yeah, it's a little bit crazy. I'm not going to repeat what JD said in the listener lounge, but I'll say it this way. Maybe they're playing another game. That was actually kind of fun. It's so infuriating that we get a character, and now I understand they are not wanting a 3-star character to go all out. If it was limited to 7-star characters doing this, I'd have no problem with it, Neil. I really would have no problem with it. But if it's a 3-star, I can agree. Yes, there's probably a change coming. It might be added that, it only happens when he's in the leader slot. And
I mean,
they probably reduced the...
Hux was bugged to buggery anyway. I mean, for Christ's sakes, you were able to gear 12 him. And now he's beating Boss Anakin. So it's not just one problem, it's a plethora of issues with this character that they've brought in. And it's because they didn't beta test him, clearly. If he'd been tested, he wouldn't have been released marquee with all these issues.
Yeah, I mean, we did see that happen with Jedi Knight Revan. That was... correct me if I'm wrong, Jedi Knight Revan was the last character that got beta tested by the Game Changer program that had these test accounts.
Yeah, he was because Revan came out in I'm trying to remember, was it September or October of 2018? And then obviously the Game Changer program kind of like petered out and then shut down around about November, just before the beginning of 2019. It's around about that, but it was roughly along those lines. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So anyway, let's get to our community call to action here, Neil.
Yeah,
I mean, we could talk about General Hux all we want. It's not going to change anything, but one thing that will change, or at least send a message, and we will get an answer whether or not we're actually received or we're just brushed off. The Escape Pod cast, alongside many of our friendly alliances, guilds, and community members that we hold dear to us as listeners, as friends of the show, as Patreons of the show, there are many, many of us who are taking a stand against the light side Geonosis territory battle difficulty. And we implore you to listen to us in this case and to join us.
Yes, join us in
a return to Hoth. What we are doing is we are collecting videos of our listeners, of anybody that wants to do this. Take a video. All you have to do is say #return to Hoth in your video. You can add a little bit of flair if you want. I don't think that's a problem, is it, Neil?
Nah, add as much flair as you like, guys.
And hop on our Discord server if you're not already there. Look for Neil Andrew Air. He's almost always on there, just like I am. And send us your video of you saying #return to Hoth. And what we're going to do, I think you're going to do this on Sunday. When are you publishing the video?
I'm not going to publish it until I've got lots and lots and lots. So I want really what there's no point in posting a video with like 12 or 15. We need 30, 40, 50. It'd be great to have 100 people. Just go to your guilds and just get everybody in your guild to open up their phone, record, because it only needs to be like 2 or 3 seconds long. Literally 2 or 3 seconds long. Look in the camera, return to Hoth. That's it. Send it to me. Done. You're dusted. It'll get added to the montage, and then I will throw it up on my channel at some point over the weekend, and it'll just be titled, literally simple title, no credit, #return to Hoth, and then I'll post that on YouTube, and then I will encourage anybody with a YouTube channel to repost it so that it just gets spread around and around and around and around, and then hopefully somebody at CG will watch it, look at it, realize, okay, we've got another territory war situation from 2018 here. The community clearly doesn't like the difficulty settings. Let's just dial it back from 15 to just 9 or 10. Just make it hard so that people can at least get past the first few waves, as opposed to just getting absolutely smashed into next Tuesday after the first stage, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not
make it so that people don't just want to deploy.
Yeah, I'm not asking to be able to go 4 for 4 in phase 1, but 2 or 3, 2 with a small team or 3 with my best team. That would be nice in phase 1. That's all that we're asking for. So.
Yes. So, we have 15 so far.
We have 15 so far. So what we
have
need
15 so far.
And so what you need to do, just get your guild. Just get people in your guild. Hey guys, this show that I listen to wants to do this to support the community. Cuz we are the community's show. I will not back down from that claim. So, get your guild to do a Return to Hoth video, and then we will get it up as soon as possible.
And I have every intention on later on this evening going on to the that wonderful of dumpster fires that is Reddit. I'm going to post something on Reddit and ask people to join in, simply because there is a thing to be spoken of regarding strength in numbers, and Reddit does have a lot of numbers and a lot of people that play the game, and I can just fish through the people that are just going to troll me. It's not a problem, because there'll be some diamonds in that rough. I'm sure there will.
I'm absolutely sure there will. All right, so we've got that out of the way. We've got the Hux thing. I do want to talk about the journey guide, but not just yet. I want to save that for the third segment.
That's fine. We can save that. We can save that till the third segment. I don't see why not. There's a lot to talk about. Just even though it's just the Hyperdrive bundle and it's just the journey guide. I mean, I'm saying just those two new additions to the game. Don't justify the use of the word just. I mean, they're game changers. At the end of the day, that it fundamentally changes the way that the game is going to be played and has been played. I mean, up to now, first 4 years, there's been a very, very specific way that we play the game. Whether you're free to play or whether you're pay to win, there's been a very specific way to play the game, and that's the way that it's been played for the last 4 years. Maybe the last 3 years. The first year, so much up in the air, took forever for the QOLs to come through when you think about it, not having full speed and not being able to sim and not having any raids, not having guilds, it took a while for those things to kick in.
So there were different ways to play the game. You did have your Krakens back then. You did have you had your people that were starting to figure out the pillar system. And then you also had other ways of doing it, like you have done with the hoarding account.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, don't get me started on that. It's not going well. It's not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty in my shard.
But I know that you want to talk about this Hyperdrive bundle. I know that you do, but we gotta save it for Biswees. All right.
Oh yeah, we have to save it for Biswees. I mean, we could talk about the dev tracker. I mean, I opened it up and it's just full of bugs. I mean, seriously, there are so many bugs. I mean, they say that they do have a lot fixed, but my God, there are a lot of bugs. And it's all to do. Seriously, I mean, click on over there and have a look. Everything, we've got Grandmaster Yoda only grants 20% protection up on battle meditation. That's a ready-to-release bug. General Skywalker isn't able to critically hit after all his allies are defeated. In progress. Kianamundi, infinite loop. Oh, actually, no. We know about that one. That was last week, wasn't it? And then we've got
players can set extra reinforcements in fleet battles in Grand Arena. What the hell?
What? Where? Oh, hang on a minute. I'm reading that one. Where's that one?
Look under General Bugs, not General Hux. We already talked about General Hux.
Yeah, players can set extra reinforcements in fleet battles in Grand Arena. Yeah,
players can set 4 reinforcements with a 7 commander character, but a 5-star capital ship in Grand Arena. That's already ready to release. So,
yeah, I got hit with a bug today. Actually, I must admit, I got hit with a bug. My Pom-Pom-tastic account that is in U-Wall Mandalore joined the territory war for me. Absolutely,
really?
Yeah, absolutely. Logged in earlier on, thought I was going to have to be setting some defenses, and it's just not there anymore. Not there anymore. It's exactly the same, similar thing that happens with GA. With GAC. Join and.
Did you hit the enter button to go in and see the map when you first joined?
Well, no. I just clicked to join. I didn't bother going in and having a look at the map. I just clicked join.
See, I think you just clicked and viewed it and then went away from it. You know,
I didn't exit it. No, it wasn't. Obviously, you've got to click on the button join, and after join, you either leave or you can just enter to have a look. And I definitely joined it. The Pom-Pom-tastic account is the one that I play the most. I'm in there probably 50% of my time, and the remaining 50% is spread between the other 3 accounts. So I know for a fact that I joined it, but yeah, nothing there, because I joined while I was doing some work on my Revan, because I'm desperately trying to get my Darth Revan up, because Pom-Pom-tastic's got some Darth Revan action from the Journey Guide. One of the wonderful things about the Journey Guide, I can do a legendary battle whenever I want now. As long as I'm ready, I can do it whenever I want. I could go for a 6-star BB-8 if I wanted to right now. I just don't fancy it. Just, not feeling it right now. So I'm just going to leave it until I can go for a 7-star BB-8. And then I'm going to hit that.
I think that it's just that you hate anything that's in the new canon. I think that's why you don't want to do a after BB-8.
I just can't be bothered to go for BB-8 at 6 stars. I may as well wait, until my Kylo Ren is at 7 stars, and then, once he hits 7 stars, then I'll go get my BB-8. But it's not like I've got anything for any other squad members to go with BB-8. I really have nothing to go with him at all. So, what's the point? Don't worry, he will be ready to rock and roll once I've got my JTR. Once I've got my JTR, BB-8 will be ready to rock and roll. I am saving up my Zetas. I'm up to 80 Zeta mats already, and that's after putting 3 on Darth Revan, 1 on HK, and 1 on Bastilla. Although I think I put the wrong one on HK. I'm not sure. Somebody will have to tell me. I think I put the wrong. I think I put the wrong Zeta on HK.
Which one did you do, Neil?
Sorry, say that again, mate.
Which one did you do?
I don't know. I just remember putting a Zeta on him, and then scrolling up a little bit further and noticing there was a one at the bottom, and I'm like, oh, hang on a minute, what's that? Clicked on that, and then that was also a Zeta, and I'm like, right, okay. I just assumed he had 1 Zeta ability. I didn't realize he had 2. So I don't know if I've done the right Zeta for him or not. So yes, well, there's not much I can do about it now. I'll just have to wait and see if what I've put on him is effective at all in GAC, because I'll never be using him in Squad Arena. It'll just be for he'll just be part of an offense team for GAC, because I don't plan on using Revan in defense. I plan on using him for offense. Him, Bastilla, and HK-47 are going to be used in offense and offense only.
All right, so what we're going to do, since we had a very, very long interview with Biscuit Weasel, we are going to go to a break right now. And when we come back, we've moved the incoming transmission. We're testing out some format changes here. We've moved the incoming transmission from segment 3 into segment 2. This is also in preparation for next week, Next week, we are going to be, and I'm going to make this announcement now about this, we are going to be doing Talking Mando live simulcast on Going Nerdy's channel. So we are going to be going, we're going to be going live at 7 o'clock. We're going to go live at 6:30 and give our normal podcast intros. And then at 7:30, or at 7 o'clock, we are going to, 7 o'clock Central Time, I should say. We are going to go live on Thaddeus's channel along with the Discord. So you guys can, you can see a little bit delayed on Discord or on YouTube, or you can catch it live here on Discord. And also, this is your early warning. After that second segment in Talking Mando, we will be talking Skywalker. So there will be spoiler alerts next week. Major spoiler alerts, Nev.
I've already said I don't care. You can spoil it all you like. In fact, I need it to be spoiled. I've been, I'm pretty sure I said to you the other day, I've been reading about leaks and all sorts of stuff for the past few months. So I'm interested to know, once you've watched it and you've given me all of the spoilers, just how accurate all of these leaks and rumors about the movie truly are.
All right. So, spoiler alert next week. But coming up after this break, we have the one, the only Biscuit Weasel joining us. This is the Hyperdrive bundle talk that you don't want to miss. Stick around. You're listening to the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast now offers our faithful listeners a way to show their support via merchandise. Declare your allegiance to Team Paul or Team Neil with official shirts. Get a story time with the llama button or magnet. Or just represent the show by getting an official logo hoodie. There are now even Team Scotty and Team Heinzie options available too. Become an official Podawan today. Check out the merch at escapepodcastaways.com.
Hey everyone, this is Biscuit Weasel here, coming live to you from the Escape Pod Cast Content Creators Network. I'm sure some of you have seen my latest videos about General Kenobi countering the Millennium Falcon and Rebel fleets, as well as my top 10 Zeta videos for newer players. But I want to help you guys personally. If you head on over to patreon.com/biscuitweasel, that's Weasel with a Z, to check out my new Patreon rewards. And while they last, the first 10 people to sign up at the $10 level will get the whole $30 package for their first month for free. That's patreon.com/biscuitweasel. Remember, that's with a Z. Today.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome into the second segment. And yes, you heard that correct. We are going with the incoming transmission a little bit early because Nev has a fire under his butt about this whole Hyperdrive bundle. And who better, in my opinion, to talk about the Hyperdrive bundle with us is the man who I wholeheartedly 100% endorse. He is a new content, or rather more of a early game content wizard, and at the same time he knows his way around end game Grand Arena content as well. He goes by Biscuit Weasel. So Biscuit Weasel, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys having me back on. It's been a pleasure.
Biscuit.
You know
I'm going to be doing that all the time now, didn't you?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I was wondering how many times that was going to come across in this interview. I'm going to say I'm counting to 10. That's my goal. That's my guess is 10.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. It could certainly be a drinking game. How many times, anytime that you hear Nev call him Bisweez like that,
take a shot.
Take a shot. And honestly, you know what? I'm just impressed that for the longest time, Neil could not say Bisweez. He didn't understand it, and then all of a sudden he figured it out.
Well, no, I preferred saying biscuit because biscuit it's got a European kick to it, like biscuit. Yeah, it's like parlez-vous français? Est-ce qu'on parle espagnol?
All right. Well, well, guys,
I was saying it with a French accent.
Okay,
you're too much, Neil.
Yes, I know.
It's I love this guy. I love working with him so much. So Biscuit, we before we get into this whole Hyperdrive bundle, how's the channel coming along since we last talked to you?
I think I've come a long way. I think when I was back on the show, I think was June, and that would have been June to July. I had a pretty significant growth, over 100 people subscribed to the channel. Right now I'm sitting at 249 and somewhere around almost 60 videos, I think. So the number of views that occur when I release a video seem to have gone up pretty significantly. As far as subscribers over the past couple of months, I haven't grown. I think for last month I grew 17, but the number, the length of my videos being watched is also growing, which to me is something I would rather see rather than having the subs, is people watching the videos for longer, because that means that they're actually enjoying me as a content creator, the information I'm putting out. They're learning something, so they're going to keep coming back for more.
Yeah, I've that's something that I've learned. Just put out content. If you are happy with the content that you put out, and you're enjoying yourself doing it, don't listen to the haters. Don't worry about, whether or not somebody subbed to you or not while they watch the video. The main thing about content creation is creating content because you enjoy it.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I know that you and I've had, some one-on-one conversations about that, that exact topic. And it's really helped. It's there at a time when I was considering, not creating content anymore. And you were like, no, hey, do the things you want to do the things that make it fun for you, because the whole reason I started my channel was, to show real content, not from a test account, not from God mods, as a point of view, or as from the point of view of a real player that doesn't have, all those resources. And so it took when you told me that, it was like, okay, let me get back to my roots. Let me get back into the saddle, and I think for me, I've probably October, or not, no, October, but November. I think I did almost a dozen videos, I think. And it was a lot of fun. I was able to be more consistent. And so for me, that consistency is the important thing, because, if I let, one or two days go by, okay, that's fine, but it's like, I really need to get a video out there. And then the longer you let it go, it's like, I'll just do it tomorrow.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Neil, I'm going to turn the reins over to you here, because, you have been itching since we started this show to give your thoughts on this Hyperdrive bundle. I've had to hold you back twice now. Well, finally, here you go.
You see, this segment, it's not so much about my thoughts. It's bouncing my thoughts off another creator, because, we all know what my thoughts on the Hyperdrive bundle are, because I used the P word in the last episode, didn't I? I was very naughty, and I referred to EA, and I referred to them in the P word, which was very, very, very controversial. And now that I've actually seen the Hyperdrive bundle, and I've seen what's in it, and I've seen the price, I still stand by what I said. So nothing's going to change there.
Really?
Nothing's going to change there. Absolutely mute. So, go.
Neil, when I heard you say that word, last show, I was like, you know what? Seeing the progression that Capital Games has taken, I was like, yeah, I could see this really becoming that, that predatory. But I say, my personal opinion is I have to disagree with you on the fact that this is not a predatory.
Oh, no.
This is not this pack.
The amount.
I don't think it's predatory.
Is irrelevant. But please continue, and then I will hit you with my counterpoint.
So, I was looking at, you and I kind of talked about this a little bit last night, just kind of off the cuff, and the characters that you get, you're getting 65 5-star characters at Gear 8, and for some of the old hero journeys and the old legendaries like CLS, you only need those characters at Gear 8. For Thrawn, you need the Phoenix squad at Gear 8. Well, guess what? You get 5-star Phoenix at Gear 8. So you pretty much automatically get, you're getting legendaries. You're going to get Palpatine from that. You're going to get Thrawn, and then you'll get a few other ones. So you're for $100, you're getting not only those 65 characters, but you're going to be able to unlock 3 or 4 legendaries very easily, very quickly.
Hey, you are not going to get any argument out of me whatsoever that this Hyperdrive bundle is incredible value for $100. You are getting characters that will enable you to unlock 5, count them, 5 legendaries. Thrawn, Palpatine, BB-8, R2-D2, and last but not least, I've forgotten. What's the 5th one? Palpatine? No. Palpatine,
CLS,
Thrawn, R2-D2, BB-8, and...
Oh, CLS is 7 stars.
There was a 5th. I could have swore there was a 5th. Oh, well, never mind.
I thought there were 6, honestly.
I initially thought that Chewie was in there, but there's only 4 bounty hunters. So it's not. It doesn't give you a qualifier for Chewie.
Here, let me open up the journey guide really quick.
But no, you get a Phoenix faction, you get a Rebel faction, you get a Jedi faction, you get a Resistance faction, you get an Imperial Troopers faction, you get a First Order faction, you get a Bounty Hunter faction minus 1 Bounty Hunter, you get a Sith faction, you get a Night Sister faction, you get an Empire faction, and you get a Clone Troopers faction. So that is a hell of a lot of factions. Gear 8, 5. I've done the math.
Yeah.
I have done the math. If you were to start a brand new account and purchase this $100 bundle, you would receive the equivalent of over 9,000 character shards, all for the bargain basement price of $100. And that's not counting the ships or the resources or any of the unlock, because let's not forget, you get all of the nodes unlocked except for 9. You don't get stage 9.
But wait, there's more.
Okay, but wait, there's more. So on top of that, you get 16 ships. Yeah, you get ships at 5 stars. You get 3 bounty hunters.
Ships, yeah.
You get 3 bounty hunters. You get
was it
4
three
rebels.
3 capital ships?
I mean, 5-star ships. I mean, some of these ships are an absolute nightmare to farm, and they're a nightmare because when you're buying them out the store, you only get 4. You don't get 5 shards, you get 4 shards, remember? So it takes even longer to get these ships. So $100 for all of this, all of these character shards, all of these ship shards. Hey, and let's not forget, you're getting them from level 1 to level 80, and that's roughly, for 65 characters, 260 million credits. So if you wanted to take them from 1 to 80 on your own, off your own back,
insane.
If you were just free to play, say, you would need to amass 260 million credits. But EA are just giving it all to you for $100. I mean, if I'm being honest, there's a lot of people out there that are probably a little bit miffed because, over the last 2-3 years, there will have been people that would have forked out, $50 to $100 for some of these characters. And they're probably looking at this bundle going, thanks for that. I paid $100 for one of those characters. And now you're giving me that character and 65 more for $100. So, but so I'm not arguing about the value of this pack. This pack is, they may be, EA may be marketing it at new accounts, but to me, the entire bundle is being marketed simply for what is in it at the entire player base, with one exception, and that exception is those whales and those krakens that have pretty much collected all of the characters. And, we're talking like 4 million and upwards that have probably already got really, really good rosters, OP rosters. They might have maybe 1 or 2 characters in here that they haven't done, and they might look at the resources, all of those carbantes, all the chirotechs, the eyeballs, the crystals, the energy, and they might go, hey, all of that, it's worth $100. And that's why I say this bundle is being aimed at everyone. EA wants every single player to buy this bundle, and that is why I still stand by my initial speculation and what I was criticizing EA over as referring to this as predatory, because what EA are doing with this bundle is basically saying they want everybody to pay. If you want to be competitive, pay.
Yeah, that is an absolutely fair point. I know even a couple of my guys in my guild tonight were like, they were like, I'm gonna go buy that. I'm gonna go buy the Hyperdrive bundle. I can 7-star my clones, and I can do this and that. I'm like, no, stop. You don't get those shards. If you're a newer player or a new account, it's gonna give you 145 shards worth of character. It's gonna unlock it gear 8 and 5 stars. You don't get those shards. And he was like, you're kidding. I was like, no. And but this is the first time Zetas are for purchase. You get 100 chirotechs of each of both types. That alone, chirotechs are expensive.
300 purples, 300 purple maps, 30 omegas.
You get the Zetas, you get the Omegas, you get the stun guns. All of those. That gear crunch that we have, and this could be, CG kept saying we're going to
20 million in credit.
Gear. Yeah. It's like we said, the value of what you're getting is great for the price, but
it's incredible. It's wonderful value, absolutely beautiful value, and that's what makes it predatory. Is that this is such good value compared to anything that they've ever put out. That's what, in my opinion, because obviously this is just an opinion. It's my it's not an objective fact that it is predatory. It is my it is just my opinion. It's just my opinion. But that is what makes this predatory. It's saying it's making people look at this and go, oh my God, this is such ridiculous, incredible Black Friday value. I have to spend the $100 on it.
I mean, I'm looking at this.
And lots of people. There are people that are going to look at this that said over the last 12 months, that's it. I'm not buying again. I'm not spending again. And they're going to look at this and they're going to go, well, you know what? Normally I would have spent $20 every single month for the last 12 months. So yeah, you know what? I'll pay $100 for this because I would have spent that over the last 12 months anyway.
Right. No. Yeah. Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you then, mate.
No, you're fine.
I'm just looking at all this. I'm looking at the extra stuff because I'm able to click on it as I'm or tap on it here, if you will, as I'm going down.
The resources section.
300 of the MK1 BAW armor mod. I'm currently sitting at 5. Let's see what other extra little goodies are in here. We already know about the Chirotech. We already know about the other little hidden goodies. But okay, there we go. MK2 NeuroSav Electro Binoculars prototype. I have 12. They're giving you 300. I have MK2 Tag Co HoloLens. I have 61 of those. Those I remember being a pain in the tuchus to farm, and they're giving you 300 of these right off the bat.
Yeah.
The Blast Tech weapon mods, the green ones. I have 4 of them currently. They're giving you 300. It is
balls to the wall bonkers. Balls to the wall bonkers.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. The holo projectors. The green holo projectors, of which I have 26. They're going to give me 300 of them if I turn to the dork side. 300 of the weapon mod prototype.
Yeah, I was just looking at those weapon mods. Yeah.
And those things are wonderful, if you will, for relicking.
Yes. Yeah, because we, especially for people that were, like us that have been playing since day one, we have, thousands and thousands of these junk pieces that aren't used anywhere.
There are 3 things in a row. There are 3 items in a row that I have come across that I have 0. I'm currently sitting on 0 of. 4 now. I have 1 of something else.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's absolutely incredible. And I will not fault, I am not going to say that this is not incredible. I mean, there are people out there. I mean, I've heard people continuously keep saying, oh, I'm not going to buy it. What do I need it for? What do I need it for? No, they have put stuff in this Hyperdrive bundle that every single individual person out there will want to buy except for the tip of the spear. This is for everyone except the tip of the spear. But, and it's a very, very big but, the tip of the spear. The tip of the spear that might be getting bored with their 5.5 million accounts because, they can't do the new content that's come out because nobody else is close to them. So it's like, hey, why not? Why don't you, Mr. Tip of the Spear, with very, very deep pockets, why don't you take one of these Hyperdrive bundles and start an alt account? Because you won't need to go through all of the sake of farming all of these petty little, because we're just going to give them to you at 5 stars, all 65 of them. So you'll just need to rebuy a few characters. They've conveniently left out one bounty hunter ship and one bounty hunter. The bounty hunter that you need in order to get Chewie. So, you'll just have to farm, the point is this Hyperdrive bundle has been aimed at everyone. It is the nail in. I mean, I'm the last I deride people and the naysayers and the the doomsayers and the naysayers that talk about over the past 3 months. Oh, it's the end of the game. The game is dying. This, that, and the other. This doesn't kill the game. It breathes life into the game for those who want to pay, and it kills the people that want to do free to play, because there is no way, and I challenge anybody out there to start a new account, and be competitive in any arena shard with people buying the Hyperdrive bundle, because it's just not possible. It is not physically possible.
No, not at all.
EA want this game to go full pay to win, and this Hyperdrive bundle ensures that. I'm not suggesting free to play now. Veteran free to play characters, they're going to be fine. Nothing's going to happen to veteran free to play players. Absolutely nothing. But what it means is there will no longer be new free to play players, because there is just no way that they can be competitive. None whatsoever. There is during the conversations that I've had today, there is one thing, and it's one tiny, and it is a tiny sliver of hope. It really is the tiniest of slivers of hope. But the tiny sliver of hope is ships, because they don't give you the geos, and the characters don't give you the geos. So there's no geos and there's no geo ships. And right now, if you get in early enough, and if you go full speed on your farming of geos and of the geo ships, you can be competitive and hit. I mean, I hit top 5 every single day.
How many
in my horde account?
Real quick, Neil, and then Biscuit's been wanting to say something here.
Sorry.
How many arena shards do you think were made on Tuesday?
I don't know, but I can find out while we speak to Biscuit Weasel. I'll have a look.
Take a shot, Biscuit. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, that'd be. I was watching a mobile gamer on a replay of one of his streams for his Grand Arena a few days ago, and he said, so one of his chat guys said, "Hey, so what do you think about the new Hyperdrive bundle?" And he made a comment that, and I sent it to myself in an email, and he basically said, the quote was, why create new content when you can play the game again?
That's yeah.
And I was like, and that kind of hit me, and I was like, that he hit it right. He hit the nail on the head. I'm just like, we have been, the player base, we have begged Capital Games for something actually new in the game, not a new territory battle map, not something to give it a new facelift to make it all pretty. That's not what we wanted. We, a new raid, something, as Dagger said many times, I want something to do with my toys.
Yeah, I've been.
When mobile
games want to know what the shard is.
Shard. Go ahead.
The current shard status is 15,000 as of 4 p.m. today was 15,755. So there's still just over 4,000 before the next shard goes live. So probably we're talking
on Tuesday at 4.
We're talking Friday. On Friday.
That's it. That's Friday,
it. There will be
that's
new
if there
shard.
are new accounts.
Yep. So if you get a new account now. No, because you don't need to get a new account and work your way to 28. If you get a new account, you just buy this bundle. You don't do anything. You start a new account and you buy this bundle, which instantly takes you into Squad Arena. So you do not want to be buying this bundle and going into the Squad Arena until it's not going to make much of a difference. I mean, you could probably go into this existing one that's at 15,000 now, because I doubt very much whether there are going to be people above level 60 in it. And if you buy a bundle today, you're going to go not straight to the top of that, because you've got to remember that some of these people will have been playing the game for a few weeks in this shard. So they'll more than likely have good mods. The whales will have whaled out on characters, and the same whales that are in that shard that's currently at 15,000, will also be buying this Hyperdrive bundle. So if you're new to the Hyperdrive bundle, my advice would be wait until maybe Friday, maybe wait until Saturday, then buy your Hyperdrive bundle. It will take you in at the top of your squad arena, and then you just go to town on those, mods. I would not advise anybody who is new buying the Hyper bundle now and taking the jump to level 85, because you will be competing with people who have also bought the Hyperdrive bundle but have also been playing the game for a few weeks. They will have more mods than you. They will have more resources than you. So that would be my advice. Hold off. But to all the free to play people, tough. Yeah. There's just there is no hope except maybe farm the crap out of geos and farm the crap out of the geo ships and just hope and pray that the people that you're competing against don't do the same thing, because if they do, then that sliver of hope that you can still be competitive and collect crystals from the fleet arena is just gone. Free to play is dead.
And while you were talking, another thought popped into my head is, so let's say you get somebody new to the game, doesn't understand. They're like, oh, $100. Yeah. I'll probably spend that on entertainment anyway. Let me just go and drop $100. What has CG done now? CG has created this need to continually buy in this game. From the first instance, this player installed the game and goes, oh, I get all these characters. I get all these resources. That's $100. I spend $100, I throw it out the window of my car. Let me drop it on the game. And then, so what happens in a couple of weeks? They run out of crystals. They run out of those resources. They're like, oh, well, let me go into the store here. Oh, I can spend $100. I just spent $100. And now you have set this player on a pay to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's basically they've turned a free to play a freemium mobile freemium game into they've turned a freemium game that is a freemium in name only. It is now a AAA on steroids game, because a AAA game would normally cost you $60, right? And then you'd play it, you'd go through the story, you'd get 20 hours, and then they hit you with the monetization. Then they hit you with the live stuff, and that's where all of the monetization comes in, whether it's loot boxes or extra stuff like that. What EA is doing with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is they're saying they want people to pay to be competitive right from the get-go. And this is how they get people to do that. It's like, hey, you can play free to play if you want, but it's, you're not going to want to do free to play. Nobody is going to want to be free to play on this game. After a couple of weeks, anybody starting a new account is going to realize it's completely and utterly pointless and stump up $100 or just quit.
Yeah. And so either way, they're going to get their money.
Either way, they're going to get their money, or they're going to be shooing someone along that isn't taking up, a tiny amount of space on one of their servers.
Yep. Now here, the other downside to some of this is, what happens, there is so much experience and growth that a player goes from the day they install the game with the tutorials all the way up until they get to level 65 and they unlock guild events. What happens during during those 65 levels? They farm. What are they farming? They're farming characters. They're farming gear. They're actually learning how to play the game. They're getting experience in that grind. Oh, this sucks. Well, yeah, I mean, it does suck, but it's later down the road when they look at their roster, they're like, okay, I need this cantina farm. I'm going to spend my fleet energy on these two characters. I'm going to have a dark side hard node. I'm going to have a light side hard node. All of those things that a normal player is going to learn, they're not going to learn now. So all of the Discord servers that we all belong to, all the Facebook forums and the Twitter accounts that we have, they're just going to be blowing up with more people saying, hey, how do I do this? I need help. I need this. I need that. And it's just like you had, CG just came out with the Journey Guide, which is going to help some of that. But you're going to have all this brand new player base. You've got the Clone Wars series coming out early next year. So 6 days from now, you have the Rise of Skywalker coming out. You have the Mandalorian. You have all these brand new shows that are coming. And so you have this brand new player base. They're going to be looking for something Star Wars related to play. And what are they going to do? They're going to go into Google Play, or they're going to go to the App Store and then go, oh, Star Wars. What's going to pop up? Oh, Galaxy of Heroes. Oh, let me punch on that. And then, oh, I can jump ahead. I can skip all this other stuff. So you're going to have these guild ready players, as quote unquote, as CG said, but they're not going to understand what a guild event. They're not going to understand territory battles or territory wars. They're not going to understand what to farm, when to farm, or how to farm them. They were just given this to them like, oh, okay, there you go have fun. They're going to lose interest because unless they get into a semi-decent guild that enjoys teaching and mentoring, which the starter guilds in game don't do at all. So unless they can, get on the forums or on the recruiting servers and try to find somebody, that's willing to take them and bring them under the wing and train them, these players, they're going to drop $100. They're going to lose interest and they're going to go away.
Yeah, all I want for Christmas is a Hyperdrive bundle.
I love that. You should make that into a song.
We're already doing. We're already doing many different songs.
I've been thinking of a couple of songs that I could parody for the for the Hyperdrive bundle. I have 3. I haven't fixed myself on one yet. I need one that has a catchy chorus, because if it doesn't have a catchy chorus, then I'm thinking the song from Top Gun, Highway to the Danger Zone. I'm thinking something along that. But I don't want to give too much away, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that one, and Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. And the other one is Singing in the Rain. But yeah, no, I will be coming up with, because, me, Paul and Hellenix came up with one in like a day the other day, and it was so easy. So I'm going to let those creative juices keep on flowing and, let the red mist descend again and, spew all of that into a song and see what happens. But I'm just, I'm not joking when I say all I want for Christmas is, all I want for Christmas is a Hyperdrive bundle. I would quite happily drop a Hyperdrive bundle on either the Horde or Pom-Pom-tastic, because I'm worried for the Horde. The whole purpose of doing the Horde account was so that I could follow a farming methodology that would prepare me for GAC, and I'm worried that my Horde account isn't going to compete, because by the time I qualify for level 85, I'm still going to have less than half the amount of squads for someone that buys this pack. So
I was getting ready to say that too. Because you're focused on Grand Arena and a particular way to do this, and now with CG throwing this Hyperdrive bundle in there, the way that you run that account will almost necessitate you. They've almost forced you to do this in order to keep up your content.
In order for it to remain competitive, I need a Hyperdrive bundle.
Yeah.
And there's no way that I could justify. Anything. I mean, that's why I'm free to play. I'm free to play because I can always legitimately come up with a method to get what I want without paying for it. But that's right. Just not. It's now no longer possible. That is now no longer possible. No. Don't get me wrong. I mean, people that buy these Hyperdrive bundles and go into their first GAC, they're going to get stomped on by a veteran player.
Oh,
I mean, they are going to get stomped on. They're more than likely going to get stomped on by a veteran player, unless when they hit that Hyperdrive bundle, they go straight for. And this would be my advice to anyone dropping it. You go straight for mods. You go straight and finish off every single one of those tier 3 mod challenges, and you go refresh. You spend 500 crystals on refreshing those mods and God, you need to get yourself some decent allies, because if you don't clear the slicing material stage 9 as soon as physically possible, you are not going to be able to roll your mods.
And those that level 9, those slicing material squads,
they ain't tough.
I mean, they're
stuck
now
on 4 at the moment, mate.
They are tough. I mean, you I think one of them was a full Night Sister Gear 12 squad, and those are some serious squads. Now, obviously, with Jedi Knight Revan and Darth Revan and Padme, there are some new squads that really easy to take those down, but you're talking later in game players. But at the time when mods first came out, the squads they put there in tier 9 for those mod challenges, or those the slicing materials, those were some extremely
I've just got
tough
them.
teams.
I've got them up in front of me now. I've got the mod battle, the mod battle stage 9 up in front of me now, and I've done all of them except for, let me see, there's A, B, C, D, E. That's it. The last one. I can't 3-star the last one, which is the Resistance. But I've had good enough allies. I mean, it's not, the first one is Empire level 81. Then it goes straight up to level 84 with Rebels. The third stage is level 87 Night Sisters.
Rebels.
The fourth is level 89 Jedi. The fifth is level 85 and level 89 Sith, and then the final one is level 85 Resistance. So, the bundle purchasers aren't going to be able to clear those nodes on stage 9 of mod battles without some damn good allies. And I have really good allies, and I still can't clear the final node. I still can't clear 9F. I cannot get 3 stars on 9F.
All right. So I know this isn't the exact final word on these on the Hyperdrive bundle, but what are your final thoughts on the launch of this Hyperdrive bundle and also the Journey Guide, Biscuit?
I have to say, for the Journey Guide, I have to give props to CG. It's very well done. I recorded a video about it yesterday. I was actually pretty impressed with their video, and then and walking through it tonight. Guys in my guild, they've already unlocked Padme. They've already gone after some of those new characters that they didn't have to wait for anymore. And I don't know what took them so long to come up with this idea of this Journey Guide. Let people unlock them as they are able to. For me specifically, I still don't have C-3PO. And I'm working on my Ewoks. I'll have them ready hopefully within the next month.
The Journey Guide,
as soon as I'm ready,
right. The Journey Guide is pretty
bada bing, bada boom. I go into the game and I unlock him at my own pace. I think it's fabulous. CG, my hat's off to you for the Journey Guide. That's phenomenal. When I was first, and even, I'm mostly a free-to-play player. I very rarely spend money. And even, looking at the Hyperdrive bundle, I was like, Chirotechs. I get 200 Chirotechs. And I get Zetas. I'm like, oh man, that's a really good deal. And it's like, but that's also 3 tanks of gas for me in a week, or that's a week of groceries. So, I am really torn on the Hyperdrive bundle. On one hand, it's a really good deal for people that are fine to spend money and want to spend money on a game. But as a new player, how attractive is that really going to be? You download a game and automatically they're trying to sell you something for $100.
Well, that's the kicker. That's it. You either pay the 100 or you quit the game. Because if you're brand new, you're either EA are creating 2 options: stump up the 100 and remain competitive, or don't remain competitive and the game becomes extremely dull and boring as you get smashed further and further and further back down. Yeah, and watch everyone.
That's if somebody likes,
because
and
everybody.
that's if somebody likes PvP though, Neil. And so if you're in this game for just these, the battles back and forth, there's a game that's a lot like Galaxy of Heroes that I play, but I don't play it for PvP. I play it for the PvE. I play it for a hilarious storyline. So, there were some huge boost packs that came in the game that I'm not necessarily naming right now, but and when I was offered those boost packs, I laid off. So for those who want to beat up on other people, the Hyperdrive bundle is there. If you don't give two rips and you're not all about the crystal income, to me, this Hyperdrive bundle, it's not a must, because the journey guide is there, and you will learn to farm as you go along.
No, it's going to be
the
permanently
Hyperdrive
in the
bundle
store,
will likely be around for a while. I don't see an end time on this bundle, so
No, I didn't either. Yeah, and I you do bring up a good point, Paul. For anybody that is PvP focused, you're basically going to have to have the pack to be competitive. But if you're more into the storyline, so to speak, going through the battles, the levels 1 through 8, and just enjoying Star Wars for what Star Wars is now, which is initially the whole reason I would say the vast majority of us got in the game in the first place. If that's what you're after, and that's what this is a game, it's supposed to be fun. And if that's why you came to this game, to have fun, and that's how you want to have fun, then hey, more power to you. There are definitely more things in this game outside of PvP content.
All right. Nev, any last words? What the hell?
What the heck?
That would be the last post for all of the free to play out there. Just starting the game. I salute you, and onward journey.
With that, stick around, guys. We have story time with the llama coming up, and then we will get into what we were just talking. I don't know, Biscuit. I don't know. We'll get into the journey guide and more coming up right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today, because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Thank you for calling Derelict Droids, your one-stop shop for refurbished and slightly modified, used and certified pre-owned droids. How can I help you?
This is your favorite Swoggle YouTuber's favorite Greek-American Swuggle YouTuber from the greater New York City area, and I recently destroyed my T-Series protocol droid. I was looking to see if you guys have anything in stock that I can quickly pick up. I do kind of need an assistant.
Certainly, sir. Being that you are a Swuggle player and a Swuggle YouTuber, we can only assume that you have tons of galactic credits to spend on a new droid. We have hunter killers and assassin droids, protocol droids, luxury companion droids. What were you looking to purchase today?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm kind of free to play right now, and my galactic credits are kind of low. You got anything on clearance?
Oh, God, we got another broke Swuggle YouTuber on our hands. Hey, D742, do we have anything on the clearance rack? Something that's barely being held together with duct tape and hydro spanners?
N00B is available for purchase.
It looks like you're in luck, sir. We do have one item remaining on our bottom shelf of our clearance rack. It is designation number N00B, and it is available for immediate purchase for only 99 galactic credits. Quite a good deal, I think.
I got a 10% coupon here, coupon code THX1138, and I'm wondering if I could apply that towards this purchase?
I'm sorry, sir, but your coupon cannot be applied towards the purchase of any clearance items.
All right. Do me a favor. Set that droid aside and put it under the name Hellenix. #shameless self-promotion. And I'll swing by to pick it up as soon as I'm done listening to the Escape Pod cast with your hosts, Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Eyre. Take it away, boys. I've got a droid I gotta go purchase.
Back to school. The Escape Pod cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello and welcome back, Escape Padawans, to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. Let us all rejoice because new players got a game changer this week. The Journey Guide was released and there has never been a better time to start playing Galaxy of Heroes. If you're brand new or have been living under a rock, the Journey Guide is a brand new feature aimed towards new players. All of the legendary character and ship events are now able to be accessed whenever you want, provided that you have the necessary requirements for each. From now on, new players will no longer have to wait around for an event to come along, or be in a crazy panic farm mode to try and complete their teams before an event starts in 2 days. This is huge for early to mid-game players, and I could sing I'm so excited. Don't worry, I won't actually sing. Now, this doesn't mean that you can throw your farming plan out the window. It just means you'll have a little bit more flexibility on your farming timeline. The pillar system is still the best order in which to collect the different factions in the game. The Phoenix Squadron is still an excellent starter faction, and it's simple to farm. Before I sign off, there's one more thing I'd like to talk about. It's no secret that lately it seemed like the developers and the community are on completely different comlink channels, and the communication between the two is not great. We as a community need to band together with one unified voice to tell CG that they need to start listening to the community again. Next week, the Lightside territory battles are coming back, and guilds across the galaxy are taking a stand and will not be participating in GOTB. They will be choosing Hoth TB instead. I encourage you to join the movement and show your support with the hashtag #ReturnToHoth. Let's get the devs listening again. That's all for me. Tune in next week for more Storytime with the Llama on the Escape Pod cast for kids. So, I was following my lead on Paul and checking the security footage of the entrance to the escape pods on the ship. And it turns out that Neil was the one to activate the escape pod. There were a bunch of empty airplane bottles all over the ground, and it looked like he could barely stand up. Something doesn't smell right here. I'd better have Constable Thaddeus take a look at this tape.
The Escape Pod cast now offers our faithful listeners a way to show their support via merchandise. Declare your allegiance to Team Paul or Team Neil with official shirts. Get a Storytime with the Llama button or magnet. Or just represent the show by getting an official logo hoodie. There are now even Team Scotty and Team Heinzie options available too. Become an official Padawan today. Check out the merch at escapepodcastaways.com.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, give us a follow, and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net!
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast.
There we go. Is it working now? There we go.
It was working before, wasn't it? I didn't realise it wasn't working.
I gotta switch computers back and forth when I'm airing this live and stuff. So, all right.
Okay. So technology's fault.
That's why I don't talk over the exits, but you hear it on the podcast when I play it back. You know. All right. So, we were going to go into talk about the journey guide coming up here. Before we attend the funeral of Free to Play. But I have a lot of people coming in to the listener lounge because the word is spreading that I am calling for a return to Hoth. Now, me calling for this return to Hoth is not, how to put this, I'm not saying to return to Hoth indefinitely. I'm saying this one time, I want to give the call out to back each other, come together in a way that we can, and play Hoth this coming TB. Now, why? Because they said it themselves, and if Top Hat is to be believed, and we can ask him to put his money where his mouth is, this is where it will be seen. Under the last Q&A, they said, somebody asked the question, you've stated the difficulty will not be rolled back after this TB, and that is to play the same. Can you provide some information as to what's coming to help level the playing field? Players are worried that this new edition will be hidden behind some massive paywall that will weaken the total community by player retirement. Which, by the way, Neil, it has. We have seen people leave this game, and I don't want that to happen anymore. We keep getting pile upon pile upon pile. Now, what Top Hat's response is, and he said, there's a discussion in the community with this territory battle is setting up for a future progression element that is imminently planned, and they said no. They say, quote unquote, the difficulty is intentional. We've tried to account for player theory crafters who generally do a great job at finding very powerful strategies in these pieces of content. We do not have, at this time, an expansion of relics. I mixed up a few words, but I am quoting the sentiment here. Level cap increase, etc., planned in the next 3 months. In the next 3 months, we're not getting any sort of reprieve from the difficulty of this. Now, he said this, and this I'm going to make sure I say quote, unquote, what they've said. We will be actively monitoring player participation and related behaviors in the Geonosis Lightside territory battle. If there is a problem, and he said in parentheses here, your example is mass exodus, we will intervene and make changes. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, he said they will be monitoring player participation and related behaviors. If we band together and say, let us do something in the first phase or two of Geonosis territory battle, then, that is what we're asking for. So I am calling on the community to band together. Because if we're splintered apart, a house divided cannot stand. That has been said before. If we splinter off and we all go do Geonosis territory battle, no, it's not working. What we need to do is be together. So
we need to respond.
We need to respond. We need to give them their player participation and related behaviors and actually say, turn it back. I'm not, and I've said this before. They have it currently set at 11, to quote Spinal Tap. Pull it back to 9, 10 if you have to. I'm not asking for something to be a cakewalk. I enjoy the difficulty of Darkside Geonosis territory battle, and I'm looking forward to getting back to Geonosis territory battles when it comes back for Darkside. I'm asking for this one time, please. One time. To come together as a community, just as you did for the Territory Wars last year, where they banned characters and all people did was set the worst defenses possible and didn't attack. CG heard you then. Make them hear us now. Come together. Right now. Over the Escape Podcast.
Did you sneak in a song there? Did you sneak in a song?
No, not at all.
No.
I wouldn't do something like that.
You wouldn't do something like... No, we don't try sneaking lines of songs in here at all, do we? No,
I think hold on, Neil. Yes, that would make a second time, but it proves that they will listen to us if we actually say something, and this is how we have to say it. So yes, it would be a second time.
Yeah, you're right. We still have to actually say something. We have to act. They have thrown down the gauntlet, and the gauntlet is we ain't doing squat, but if you make us do something, we'll be reactive and we'll change it. But only if you do something that we see. They are monitoring stuff. So they are, it's a challenge. They are challenging our community. That's the way that is the way I see it. They're banking. They are absolutely banking on people joining the Lightside GOTB, dumping everything, and then just leaving, just to get the extra rewards for doing bugger all. That's what they're counting on. They're counting on everybody doing that, and why not? I mean, it's easy. Join TB, you go in, you dump everything, and then you leave. No battles, no nothing. And I get that. But specifically in the QA, that's what they said. They said they're not going to do anything. They've heard the complaint. They don't care, but they will care if a big enough swathe of the community makes sufficiently enough noise and takes enough action that they notice it, then they will be reactive and they will react to it. That's it. That's the only way that they're going to change things. They have to see something from the community to change. If they don't see anything from us, the community, nothing's going to change. Nothing, absolutely nothing will change. Now, we did it before. We did it with Territory Wars last year. As Paul said, we did it.
Sorry.
What?
Four strong
okay,
comments.
I'll let you speak. Huh?
Force Strong's comment in the listener lounge. What if their 5-year plan?
What if their 5-year plan was a 5 total year? Oh, yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. But we'll talk more about my conspiracy theories regarding that when we cover the Hyperdrive bundle a little bit more.
Yeah,
the death of free to play.
Yes,
but regarding the GOTB, it's simple. We stand together. We get noticed. If we get noticed and they do nothing, hey, no harm, no foul. For one GOTB, you didn't get your GET2 currency. Oh my God, what a bloody hardship! That's it. That's the end of it. If they do take notice, the next time you do Lightside GOTB, maybe you'll be able to get 1 or 2 extra stars, and you'll get double the amount of GET2 currency. Has anybody thought of that? People keep saying they don't want to miss out on the GET2 currency for this Lightside GOTB. Have you stopped and thought that if they pay attention to us and they do make it easier, people will be able to get more stars and they will be able to get more GET2 to make up for the stuff that they lost during the boycott?
Yeah, and now Rylos...
Sorry, I'm drinking now.
It's oh, geez, great. Yeah, we're gonna find more bottles. Are please tell me you're not headed towards an airlock tonight.
Oh, I've never been anywhere near an airlock. What kind of a fool do you think me for? I don't drink and fly.
All right, so Ryloth, who, by the way, love to have you in here, Ryloth. Good to see. He's he's a shining star of this damn community. He says,
"Oh yeah, I love it when Ryloth comments on my stuff."
Yeah. The thing is, CG knows what's coming. We have no damn idea. They won't back down on this because they know it makes sense in the end. Adapt or die. I'm not calling for people to always play Lightside Hoth. I'm asking for this one time, this coming week, right before a holiday nonetheless, to go back to Hoth, to take a stand together. I know I'm going to miss out on one instance of the big GET2. I'm still going to get GET2. I'm going to get a lot more closer to unlocking gas quicker by doing it that way, because my guild won't hit 10 stars guaranteed. So we will certainly get more GET1 than if we did go to Geo. Now I'm catching up here in the listener lounge because I stopped where Ryloth was.
There is.
So what do you got here? Let's see. It's definitely calling for a total ban on LSTB. Don't let them fool you. I'm not Goobatine. Go back to New Orleans. Go see your family for Christmas. Darn it. Yep. Run DMV says Hux will make gas irrelevant. Well, until next week.
Yeah, when he gets nerfed. Just one boycott. That's it. Just one light side. It's just one light side TB. That's it. One single light side TB. Go to Hoth. If it does nothing, it does nothing. If it's effective and they dial back that difficulty, hey, we all benefit from that. Then the slowly the lower guilds with that are under 200 mil GP that can't even make double digits in stars might be able to make double digits.
Now, I'm gonna say
Wouldn't
this.
It be nice if we could all make double digits?
I'm gonna go back a little bit here, and you said if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If it doesn't work, and we truly were together on this, solidified on this, then if it doesn't work, because they will know why their numbers show it like this. If this doesn't work, then Top Hat is not telling the truth in saying that they will be actively monitoring participation, and if there's a problem, they'll intervene and make changes. That is what I'm saying. I want to take them at their word, and I want our community to come together and say, no, I'd like you to go look at Mandalore's video from Mighty Wallets, Mandalore MAW. I'd like you to go look at his video, and he puts it, I'm just going to use the acronym FR. That's how he felt while playing the light side territory battle. So, can we please, and I'm not going to beg, but I am going to say please, can we please come together and say that we will stand together as a community?
And send all of your videos to me. Just hold your phone up, look into the camera and say back to Hoth or return to Hoth. It doesn't matter. The sentiment is all the same. And then send it directly to my inbox. DM it to me. And then I'm going to put together a little montage of all of the videos, because I've got about 20 so far. We need more. We need lots and lots and lots and lots more. But I've got about 20 at the moment. Get them sent to me. I'll squeeze them all together on a video, dump them on the channel, and CG will see that. And then obviously everybody will see all of, CG is already going to see the stuff that gets posted on Reddit and the forums. It's the stuff that we do on YouTube that, we need them to see as well. So that's where that is.
So that's it. I'm not going to beg you if you don't believe in this cause. But if you do have even the shred of belief in this cause, I ask you, stand with us. Let's talk about the journey guide. Let's get off the schneid on this one. I'm loving this thing. I'm absolutely loving this thing. I went back and I played a few of the iconic moments, like the old Ben battle against Vader. I played the Rey.
Spoiler alert.
Yes, whatever. No, spoiler alert is next week when we are talking with Thaddeus from Going Nerdy about Skywalker.
But lots of spoilers.
The battle with Rey and Kylo. I replayed that one. I actually tried the bounty hunter mission again because I had now better bounty hunters and I had fun unlocking Chewie. The one that I didn't have fun totally dominating, though, on the other hand, was the Padme event. Neil, I could not stand the fact that it's now just push play on the Padme event with bugs.
No, you're wrong there. It is auto tier. It's auto all the way to the final tier, but you've still got to do the final tier in manual. You can't just hit the auto. You got to do the final tier in manual. Yes, every other tier is auto, which does kind of make it easy, and easy because you're just pushing one button. But no, you still got to do that last tier manually. I think. You've got to do everything manually, haven't you? You didn't.
I just hit auto and I beat it. I'm going to jump back. Okay. I'm sorry, Nev. I just want to respond to what Ryloth said in the chat about this. He says that the real problem with this TB is it's only 4 phases, which doesn't give CG a chance to give us an easy phase. But I love the challenge. You know what? I love the challenge of the dark side. Geonosis territory battle, where you can take a meh team and at least clear one of the waves. I took my best 3 teams and I got obliterated. I truly did. And I have had some good mods on them. So if I'm not able to take in a good team and clear at least one wave, that's why I'm saying take it from 11 and turn it down to 9. I'm not saying make it easy. I'm not. And hear me out on that. I'm not asking for this territory battle to be made easy. I'm enjoying the dark side version, and I'm getting better at it as it goes along as I'm gearing up my characters. But I took geared up characters and still got in your words, Nev, mollywomped.
Destroyed, crapped on, skedaddled, shimped. There are lots of variations on, getting your ass beaten into the ground, aren't there? I'm sure I could think of a few more if I had a few more drinks in me.
Yeah. And Skate says that's just RNG. The GOTB turned PvE into an RNG fest? Yeah. They said in here, we've tried to account for player theory crafters who generally do a great job of finding very powerful strategies. When it is 100% RNG, that is not fun. When you can do strategy, that is fun. It's just... Greek's saying it there. It's just a tad too hard. Anyway, have you tried... what have you done in the journey guide with your stuff, Nev?
What have I done in the journey guide with my stuff? Well, I haven't done anything with the Horde account because there's just nothing I could do yet. I mean, I could do Chewy, but I can't do anything until I hit level 85, and unfortunately, I don't have $100 to take me straight to level 85, so I have to do it, the normal way, and I have to grind for the next 2 to 3 weeks to level 85, so nothing on the Horde account. But I got my Revan on Pom-Pom-tastic, so yeah, I was really, I was so happy with that. I did exactly the same damn thing with the Revan, event that I did when you watched me do the Padme event with my. So I was doing really, really well. Got all the way to the end, couldn't do it. Got through about 11 tries, and then somebody said, go check your mods. So I went and checked my mods. I changed 2 mods and did it straight away. I did exactly the same thing with DR, didn't I? Got stuck on tier 5, couldn't get past it, just couldn't get past that 4th wave. Didn't matter what I did, could not get past it. Thought, hang on a minute, best go check my mods. Went in, checked my mods, switched Carthanathes triangle from speed to offense, cleared it straight away. Tier 6 and 7 were easy after doing 5. That was it. And you know about me not doing BB-8 because I can't be bothered to do BB-8 until I can get him to 7 stars. But I've still looked. I've looked at the. I've been looking at the journey guide, and wow, there are things available in the journey guide that just aren't available in the regular store. It's almost as if, EA want people to click on every single journey guide and know that they can't qualify for it. Click on that little shop icon and scroll across, and it's like, well, you can't do it now, but if you buy this pack and this pack and this pack, you can do the journey guide. You can do this legendary of the journey guide. But you've got to click on the journey guide in order to do that. Call me an old cynic, but there's something suspicious about seeing something in that shop that you don't see just looking generally in the shop, Yeah, and that's also there's another some good value stuff in there. There's some excellent value. There are some really. What is it? Me and Bossman were going through it earlier on, and we were looking at some of the excellent. Top value packages. We took the. I think we were looking through the Yoda event, the Grandmaster's training, and some of the packages in there were just incredible value. They had a $90 package in there, right? That gave you
that's the one thing I don't like.
Whole pieces of gear, and $30 worth of crystals. You don't have to get it. You don't need it for that journey. But if you go into his event, you can find that pack. Now, that $90 pack is not available just by looking at the regular store. You've got to physically go into the journey guide to find that $90 pack that gives you about a dozen pieces of equipment. No 50. It's not like the 50 salvage to get the Carbanti or the stun gun or the stun cuffs. It's whole stun guns, whole stun cuffs, whole golden eyeballs, lots and lots of gear. Like I said, about 8 to a dozen whole crafted pieces, no salvage, and then enough crystals that's worth about $30. And then you get a bunch of other stuff as well. but it's just in there, just in the shop for that event. So, I mean, I'd love to see what's in the shops for all of the other events, because I imagine if you were to click on every single individual legendary character, there are going to be very, very catered bundles.
They are.
Worth,
they are.
300. Mm-hmm.
So, Neil, I mean, you have the ability to get into my account because you've helped me with, when I couldn't get a chance to do GAC. So if you want to go see all those bundles, you have my permission.
I can see the bundles using my accounts.
Well, I mean, you said you can't wait to get in to see what those bundles are. I was just saying.
No. I
just want to look. I can't wait.
I've only looked at a few. But I can look at all. What I'm saying is, I can't wait to get in there and look at all of them. I'm curious to see what the other ones are, because I've just looked at Yoda, and I've just looked at Darth Revan, and I've just looked at BB-8. I haven't given in to the curiosity cat yet and gone and looked at every single one to find out which shop offers the best value bundles, but I'm sure there's a few out there. But a great little package, isn't it? The Journey's Guide, great little package. Just having every single heroic journey and legendary character there, ready to rock and roll. And not to mention, it obviously also shows all of the other things as well. Shows you the shows you the characters from the raids, shows you the characters from the territory battles. I mean, it's nice to see those and know what you need in order to be able to do well enough in the game to be able to qualify for those characters. I think that was an interesting inclusion, and obviously there are a couple of characters that aren't there at the moment. Obviously, Malik's not there, and Boss Anakin's not there, but like CG, well, I mean, I was about to say, like CG said, these events that have run for a year will be available once they've run for a year, but we know that Darth Revan hasn't been running for a year, and yet he's there, so, for all we know, Boss Anakin and Malik could be there, in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. It's all based on, the whims of CG regarding characters that get put in. So
exactly,
I'm kind of guessing that there's probably a few people out there that are keeping their fingers crossed and hoping that maybe they include these characters in there once the Christmas Christmas rush with the Resistance and the First Order characters has kind of died down, because obviously we're going to get a big rush of marquees, and there's probably going to be some events regarding Kylo Ren and Rey, and we need to get all of that stuff out of the way. But I think once that stuff is done and dusted and it is out of the way, they'll add some more stuff to the Journey Guide.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to see the little checkmark system as well. It tells you how you're if you're gold checked or blue checked, if you make it or you're recommended. I do love that. But Neil, we teased it at the beginning. I'm gonna go get my best suit on here in a moment, and we can have that funeral for free to play coming up next. What do you say?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, don your veils, don your best black suits. After this break, we'll be right back with the funeral for free to play on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware. The Escape Pod Cast now offers our faithful listeners a way to show their support via merchandise. Declare your allegiance to Team Paul or Team Neil with official shirts. Get a story time with the llama button or magnet. Or just represent the show by getting an official logo hoodie. There are now even Team Scotty and Team Heinze options available too. Become an official Padawan today. Check out the merch at escapepodcastaways.com.
Hello friends, this is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message, and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways, all for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Eyre could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to mourn the passing in Nev's eyes of the free-to-play player. He has walked in the path to never spend a dime. He said, "You don't worry about me, 'cause CG ain't getting a dollar out of me, 'cause I'm a mother-plucking swagga OG." But no, ladies and gentlemen, the horror account has fallen in a way. And Nev, you weren't so very excited about this. You woke up the day after the Hyperdrive bundle was released. I'll let you explain the situation, and then I'm going to give my reasons on why the free-to-play can be resurrected. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not truly a full funeral for those, I've got people saying, I don't want to hear another Nev rant. You know what? It's not a full funeral. I think it can be resurrected, but he has true experience on 2 fronts on how it has been affected.
Yes, well, it's not a rant per se. It's I've done the ranting. It's more of a calm and conciliatory explanation as to why free to play is kind of dead in the water. As a result,
endangered. I say it's endangered.
You say it's an endangered species on the brink of extinction. I say the extinction level event has already occurred, and that extinction level event was the Hyperdrive bundle. Can we agree that at least from a starting from scratch point of view, that free to play versus people that start the game and then buy the bundle, there's no contest there. 65 characters, all straight to level 80, gear 8, 5 stars, against an account that doesn't have 65 characters to level 80, gear 8 at 5 stars. There's no contest there, right? For the cool price of $100, 2 accounts starting simultaneously, one pays $100, the other doesn't. There's no contest there, right? This isn't like 2 accounts starting at the same time and one person maybe buying 1 or 2 characters that might help them. This is someone that's buying 65 characters that will definitely help them. I'm not specifically talking about veteran free-to-play accounts here at the moment. I'm talking about accounts that are well below the level 85 threshold, because that's what's making the difference right now. It's the level 85 threshold. The Horde account is level 81. I mean, yesterday it was level 80. I only just went over to level 81 today. But enough people in my arena shard that were already there, that were well below me, bought the Hyperdrive bundle that it instantly took them to level 85, and then clearly they've made a few more extra purchases because obviously they've just got some 5-star characters, and what they've done is obviously they've looked at the Journey Guide shops and they've made some purchases within the Journey Guide shops that has got them the shards necessary to then take those 5-star characters up to 7 stars. Now, they haven't done it with all 65 characters, they've simply done it with one squad arena. And that's it. They've just made one squad arena effective. But my free-to-play account is not competing with those accounts. I got slapped out of the top 100. I usually float around the 20s or the 30s, mate. And within hours of this Hyperdrive bundle, I was kicked out of the top 100, and I used 5 battles just to claw my way back in. A couple of hours later, I was kicked straight back out again. I'm getting absolutely hammered by these accounts that have bought the Hyperdrive bundle, and I can't compete because I don't have the Hyperdrive bundle.
And how much of a difference in crystals is that, and how long does it take you? I mean, I think you've done the math. How long does it take you to get from 1 to 85 normally?
Normally, how
long did it take Pom? How long did it take Pom?
I mean, it took Pom-Pom-tastic 2 weeks.
To get to 85?
Pom-Pom-tastic 2 weeks to get to 85, yeah. You've got to remember there is a steep change in the amount of XP required. You know, it takes several days to get for. I mean, it took me, level 80, it took me 4 or 5 days to get from 80 to 81. It's going to take a similar amount of days to get from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. It takes days. When you're going from, the 50s, when you're going from the 50s to 65, you go up a level a day. You go 51, 52, so on and so forth. You go up a level a day because all of the dailies and all of the farming that you do gets you sufficiently enough XP that you're effectively going through the levels a day at a time. But when you start hitting the 70s, it takes a couple of days. And then when you hit 80, it then takes several days to go from 81 to 82 and so on and so forth, and that's what happens, and that's why I'm saying that it's really, really going to screw over free to play that are around about the same as me at the moment, around level 80. We're kind of screwed because everybody that's bought the bundle has automatically hit that level 85. They're already there. So they can level up and put gear levels on characters, and they can upgrade abilities on characters that level 80 characters can't. I can't max out the abilities, and I can't take characters to gear 11. But at level 85, they can do all of that. So, there are people, that have taken their Zetas and thrown it on Bindo. So that's a pain in the arse. So fighting Jedi is a nightmare because, yeah, sure, I've got a squad that is faster than theirs, and I can take out their Yoda pretty much straight away. But they've been able to get their Bindo past the threshold that they can put the Zeta on him. So they've put the Zeta on him, and they just keep on bringing him back. Exactly the same thing. What is it? Oh, hang on a minute. Ryloth, just imagine what new first-time players feel like when they jump into the game wanting to play free-to-play and find a bunch of people that hoarded. Free-to-play died when people started hoarding years ago. Perfectly valid point. A very, very legitimate argument. With one flaw, you still climb at exactly the same level as each other. I still have to do similar things to what everybody else does. So we all still climb at the same level. So we all go, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. The Hyperdrive bundle skips all of that level climbing, and it skips the character progression. The characters that you get that are 65, level 80, gear 8, and ability 5, you can't do that when you're hoarding. It's physically impossible. I mean, you can take a plethora of characters to 7 stars by farming them from the guild store, like I did. I hoarded for 150 days, and I took one character to 7 stars. and that was that. But when you're hoarding, you're not going into the arena. You're not touching the arena at all. And then when you do go into the arena at 28, you're still at level 28. You're not going to the arena at level 85. You're going into the arena at level 28. So where I would agree with you, Ryloff, that there is a similarity, and it's not like for like. It's not apples for apples. It's slightly different. Hoarding.
So he says hoarding gets you leveled up, not just not the characters.
No, you don't get leveled up, Skate. You just get you just get stars on characters. You don't get leveled up at all. You don't get leveled up, and you don't get geared up. They are 0 gear, 0 level.
You can hoard in gear and star if you're doing it right.
I mean, you can hoard gears, and you can increase in stars.
Yeah, and here's the thing that really that does bother me with the Hyperdrive bundle against people that have invested time. They've invested time to do this. They've sacrificed 9 months of playing this game, adding to their numbers of daily players. And then they finally start so they can move along at a better clip, and they're now smacked down for people that pay $100. They hoarded so they didn't have to spend, and now because people spend, it hurts. Now my take on why free to play is not dead is I go into a new game and I see $100 bundles. I'm not going into them if I don't know what this is. I don't jump into a game immediately and go, oh, I'm a master of my own domain. I'm going to get these certain little perks by spending a whole $100 on something. I learn the game as I go. And for the free to play players, for the people that are going to be finding this game because of Rise of Skywalker, for people that are finding this game because they want Baby Yoda to come to the game, they're not the people that the Hyperdrive bundle was initially marketed for. They could, once they understand it, then they can go right into it. And they can buy the Chirotech bundle. They can buy the Hyperdrive bundle, and they can become, whales of their own right. Flounders, as I call them.
Flounders.
I will see to it that the Escape Pod Cast for Kids will still talk to those free-to-play players. It's not... The journey guide is there whether or not you buy this Hyperdrive bundle. So you can go after the iconic characters that you want.
Yeah.
So, if you really
it's not going to make that much. It's not going to make that much, ultimately, I don't think. But it's there. As you said, Paul, it is there so that people new to the game can instantly get... it's the millennial thing. People want that instant gratification, and you can get instant gratification if you've got the moolah.
But even if you don't have instant gratification with the Hyperdrive bundle, you still have the ability, pardon me, you still have the ability to get to work towards characters that you need. And that journey guide is there to encourage the free to play and resurrect, just like Lazarus, the people that you wanted to go ahead and call dead.
I'd slightly disagree with you that the journey guide is there for the free-to-play. The journey guide's not there for the free-to-play. The journey guide is there for people that EA want people to pay for the game.
There is a store button, but there's always been a store button, Neil. There has always been a store button. Now I'm forced to accidentally click on the Hyperdrive button every single time that I'm in there. They used to put the chromium or whatever the packs were at the end of all those packs. And you know what? I don't need it anymore. I don't need to scroll past all those. I could just push the button in the front. So it is still free-to-play friendly.
The journey guide is not. The journey guide isn't marketed for free to play. The journey guide is marketed for EA who want people to pay, because all of the stores, all of the shops, all of the gear that's in the shops for each of those legendary and Hero's Journey characters cannot be found in the regular shop. It's you go into the journey guide, you click on the character. If you can't get it, you click in the shop. The shop then offers you bundles specifically catered to that character that you want to go for that are not available in the shop. Now, I'm not arguing about the value. I think that it's excellent value. I think that all of these bundles and everything that is in every single one of these individual stores is really, really good value, and it removes the unknown element that you'd get when you would go into the normal store and spend 350 crystals and just kind of put your finger in the air, not knowing which of the dozens and dozens of characters you were going to get. In the store, it's completely and utterly different. You go into the store, you spend your 350 crystals, you're going to get shards specifically catered to the character you're going for. When you click on that very legendary, to say that any of this new stuff is aimed at free to play is ridiculous. It is all aimed at trying to get people to pay to play the game. And I'm not saying that there's anything. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that as a business model. I'm just saying that that's what's killing. That is what is going to destroy the whole free to play. Is more people spending more money immediately after the Hyperdrive bundle. If the Hyperdrive bundle stays consistent and it remains at $100 and it's there all the time, then that's free to play dead. That is free to play dead.
Free to play is not dead, and it's strange that me, the guy who has whaled, is arguing for the fact that free to play is not dead. And you who have been with the free to play are arguing that it is dead. Saitor has even given me crap in the listener lounge. He's saying the journey guide is there for free to play to believe. The journey guide is there for free to play to believe that they can get it, and they will eventually get it. It's the whole instant gratification thing that people can pay for if you really want to pay for it.
Yes, but in order for a free-to-play, because that's what this game is supposed to be, in order for a free-to-play game to be healthy, it needs, there's a symbiosis between free-to-play and pay-to-win. You need a certain amount of pay-to-win, and you need a certain amount of free-to-play. And what EA is trying to do right now is tip the scales so that there's more pay-to-win than there is free-to-play. And that's not that's not the way that the healthiest games out there survive. In my opinion, it's not. I mean, I used to play Honor Bound back in the early teens. I played Honor Bound from, I think it was about 2012 until about 2015, 2016, because I stopped playing that and switched over to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes because a new company came in, took over Honor Bound, and they wanted to make money. So they put in a bunch of packs and they made a bunch of transactions so that the pay-to-win people could only get stuff that it was impossible for the free-to-play community to get unless they grinded for 12 months to get a chance at what people could just come into the game and buy instantly. And I was in a guild and everybody left. Everyone just literally stopped playing the game over a matter of weeks because it's like we just couldn't compete. It was physically impossible for us to compete.
I remember that, and I don't think And this is part of why I call for us to take a stand. Because if we can take a stand on territory war, if we can take a stand on TB, eventually we'll have the cojones to go ahead and take a stand if they start in that. You feel that they've started. I'm still on the fence that they've started. I'm worried, but I don't think they've 100% started on that. But if they make it pay to even play, that's when it becomes a problem. But it still is free to play. PvP is not everything in this game. It's a strong point for a lot of people, and there are wonderful content creators that yourself included that do well with PvP content. Me, I enjoy playing this game and interacting with the community. I just so also happen to host a podcast every week with a good friend. You know?
Mm-hmm. What game? I'm curious because, like me, we play multiple games. I can only think of one game off the top of my head that I play that doesn't involve any competitive streak to it. Can you name a game that you play that involves no competitiveness whatsoever? That is, that involves playing with an online community?
Well, I could tell you don't have to do that in Fishing Clash to get certain packs. You do have to go PvP. I play a game where I can't think of the name right now. There's a whole story mode of a game called Mr. Bullet that I play. And it has seasons that come out. You don't need to go in and play that PvP. They have a mode that's PvP, but it is absolutely not needed to do that at all. You don't need that to enjoy Mr. Bullet. There's a game where you push a ball around and you have to match the colors. It's a bichromic playfield, and you don't touch the other color. And sometimes it changes along the way. I like that game as well. So there are games that I play that aren't PvP based.
Yeah, and those games that you just described are perfectly fine, but none of them are turn-based games where it's one team battling against another team.
Final Fantasy Tactics. It is out on a cell phone.
Think of all of the games that are turn-based battle, squad versus squad battle games, and there's a competitive edge in
Final Fantasy Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics. It is out on the mobile.
I can't say I've played that game before.
It's $7.99. You pay for it once, and you never pay again.
I must admit, I'd be curious to know what's happening with the Command and Conquer one that came up that everybody was talking about.
That's entirely PvP. It's entirely PvP. It's Clash of Clans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is it like Clash of Clans? I'm not a player of Clash of Clans.
Yeah, it's Clash of Clans with a Kane and GDI or not in GDI reskin. So.
All right. Look, don't get me wrong. Look, I'm not complaining about the but I think that the bundle is great value. I really, really do. And I think that the journey guide is an excellent addition to the game. I'm not suggesting for 1 second that these aren't wonderful, wonderful additions to the game. I'm just saying that there are unintended and intended consequences to changes in games like this. And these two additions to this game fundamentally changes the way it has been played and the way it's going to be played in the future. Okay? I'm not talking about free-to-play veterans. I mean, the Pom-Pom-tastic account is not going to suffer one iota because of the this. I really, really. I mean, we'll see what happens over the next couple of GACs. But I'm fingers crossed. Next GAC, I'll be hitting quadruple Kyber because that's what I'm aiming for.
And I wish you luck in it. I really do.
But I don't. I don't think, so I don't think anything is going to happen with any of my primary, with any of my main free-to-play accounts, the ones that are already level 85. They're well established. This bundle and the journey guide isn't going to affect them, and the journey guide is going to be, a really, really useful tool for me to be able to get those last few legendary characters and, the epic characters. When the epic characters finally make it into that store, it's great for that. All I'm saying is it's messing with the starting 12 months, those first 12 months for players playing this game. It's a delicate balance. It's very, very important. You learn how to grind. You learn how, if you're free to play, you learn how to grind. You learn how to farm. You learn how to do, multiple aspects of the game. Finding guilds, finding your feet, and I just think that's the part that's going to screw things up. Yeah,
I think they're still going to have it. We'll see what happens here. We are running along. I do need to get to the Patreons. Damn it!
Tip one out for the FTP homies. There we go.
Right.
Just had to play it again.
All right,
okay.
and I'm gonna say, rise, Lazarus, and it will be done. All right. So I wasn't able to get the list of the Patreons last week. I do have them this week. I do want to go through that, and then we do have to get out of here. But special thanks, especially this month. I want to wish a Merry Christmas to all of our Patreons: Tenpool, BCM, B Counts, Danku, Lego Calrissian, Sobi. We do miss you, Sobi. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Gubatine, Dan O, Patchy, Plasma, thank you so very much, and Merry Christmas to you as well. E-Grace Gamer 2, Gavin, Ghost Stevens, one of the OHP Apex, one of the greatest Apex players I've seen. One to the Hod, to Heinze, Apropos, JJ Manners, thank you so much, guys. Sir Boss, you will always be a Patreon to me. Caden Ace, the same. Deadpool Kyle, same to you, my friend. I've got Larry M, I've got Maverick, I've got Sephiranus, Oliver Martin, Fighting Drunk, Ollie himself. Go check out Drunkfish Gaming. He's a great guy. Tupaka, you always are wonderful. Savage Diva and Uber, the married couple that I love so very, very much. To the content creator that continues to make us smile week in and week out, Urzatron, and also to Zed. I also want to thank Ryloth, even though he's not a Patreon yet. His comment that he said earlier, he's got to go watch Mando before he passes out, and we get him so stressed out that he drinks too fast. We love you too, Ryloth.
Oh yes, absolutely loved that Ryloth. You know me, I love constructive criticism. You keep on that. You keep hitting me with that stuff, mate. It makes very, very good debate, very good discussion.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for supporting the show. And supporting the Escape Pod and the Escape Pod Castaways. We are pushing through, and we are going to be bringing you as much new styles of content as well. We're going to be moving this eventually. We're going to keep the Discord going. You'll be able to listen into the Discord if you don't have the ability to possibly stream us as we go live. Thank you for Thaddeus from Going Nerdy for kind of encouraging us to do this. But starting in the new year, we may have a live video recording of the Escape Podcast as well. That's something that we're working on. So,
oh yes.
Any words of wisdom? Or anything you want to pass along before we head on out of here, sir?
My advice, if you're starting a new account and you're thinking of buying the Hyperdrive bundle, do it now. A new arena shard just started. Now is the best time to get in there and get your buck's worth for that $100. If you don't go in now, you'll have to wait for another 10, 12 days.
Oh, yes, and Thaddeus, not Thaddeus, dear God, Hellenix is saying, he's asking if the GoFundMe is still active. And yes, GoFundMe.com/Mrs. Anthony. We do have the bills that we're still trying to pay. I forget to mention it because honestly, I feel bad mentioning it. But Hellenix, thanks for asking. I'll go ahead and mention it. So there you go. All right. With that being said, Nev, you got your finger ready?
I've always got my finger ready. My finger's on the pulse, buddy.
All right. Well, Nev, push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
6! What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.